In the far-flung community of Wadare, a house relocation has veered badly off track. 3 power poles and a fence are blocking Ross and Jerry from delivering a 14-metre-long house.
We've got the nose in. There's this power pole behind on my left.
After 4 hours of going nowhere, only one option remains: drag the house sideways.
He's got to try and pull possibly 25, 26 tonne of building.
It's taken over 4,000 k's to get this far. But these last 50 metres could derail this entire job. It's been a pressure-packed mission all the way. First for Slick, to deliver the final house parts and get back in time for Christmas.
In all my transport career, I've always been home for Christmas.
And then for house movers Jerry and Ross.
We've got no chance of getting there via road. Everything's blocked at the moment.
As they try to turn a floating house into a functioning one.
If we can't get this house in, it becomes a very costly exercise.
At last, things are looking up.
Yeah, moved it, yeah. Just in our way.
The few centimetres they've achieved has cleared the way to reverse back. To get up the narrow driveway, Jerry needs to guide Ross from up front. But there's trouble lurking behind.
Am I hitting something on the back? Am I hitting something?
Lucky for them, there's no real damage.
Where are we going? Backwards? Forward.
Time to try again. After 4 hours of struggle, in 40-degree heat, this house is finally home.
This is it, going down now. House is on the ground, very happy.
But it's not over yet. Back at the barge, Slick's trailer still needs to be unloaded. And time is fast running out. It's got barge captain Nico worried.
We've only got a window of an hour to get this trailer on, the other trailer off, unload the rest of the freight and get out of here by 9:30 tonight. If we miss that, then we're going to miss the tide in Darwin and everyone's going to get stuck in here for another 12 hours.
A delay like that would be a disaster, not just for the crew, but for Slick, waiting in Darwin for his trailer to return on the barge.
It's Christmas. You've got to be home for Christmas. I don't care what anyone says. I have to be home.
At Wadare, under Nico's nervous watch, Jerry is finally dropping off the empty house trailer.
Righto, stop. Just leave the trailer there. Oh, it's good. No, mate, the trailer was fine where it was. We haven't got time to f around. All you had to do was unhitch the where it was, and then we could keep moving on. We've got less than an hour, mate.
Jerry now needs to hook up Slick's loaded trailer.
Let's go make this happen as quick as you can, brother.
Yeah, just double check to make sure it's in.
But there's a problem. The tow pin won't release. The trailer can't be towed.
We're already 15 minutes into this 1 hour window that we've got, and we still haven't got this trailer hitched up.
Hey, hold it there.
Finally, it's on. A quick drive to site, and the boys can unload and go. But this truck isn't budging. The trailer brakes are locked on. To make the tide, the house movers have only an hour to unload Slick's trailer. But after 30 minutes, all they've achieved is to locate the brake problem.
We're just having trouble with our truck hooking onto Slick's trailer.
To make the deadline, Barge skipper Nico has another plan.
So now just asked them to get the truck and put it on the other trailer there and get it off, and then we'll have to unload everything off the trailer with the telehandler and drive it up there to the site.
He wants to shift the empty trailer off the barge, then transfer the freight from the problem trailer onto it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, mate, good.
But it seems Jerry hasn't got the message.
Hey, mate, where's he going with that prime mover?
I reckon he's not going to be able to move that other one if he can't move that one. I reckon the truck bucket.
Well, tell him to come and give it a go, mate. Otherwise, we're going to have hell on earth to try and get this load off that trailer, mate.
Crunch time. If this trailer doesn't move,
Go, mate, straight back.
they can kiss their deadline goodbye. Now to transfer the freight onto it.
Perfect.
It's taken longer than anyone had hoped. But Nico still thinks there's a chance of getting to Darwin in time to make the tide.
11:30 p.m. So now we're going flat out all the way home to try and meet this tide.
One lonely figure is anxiously waiting.
Now I've come down here to meet them and start pulling the trailers off.
If the tide's still high, Slick will be able to unload his trailer and start heading home for Christmas. But this Christmas wish is not to be granted.
Unfortunately, we're just an hour late. It looks like there's enough water in there for us to get in, but there's not. There's half a metre less than what we need to get in. So we're stuck out here.
Stuck too is Slick.
100 metres away is my trailer, and I've got to hang around waiting for it now. It's going to take the next 9 hours to do 100 metres. How's that?
It's one more cruel twist on a bad luck job. 9 hours later, and the tide is finally high enough for the barge to land. A little too high, in fact.
I've got to get this one off because we're racing the tide at the moment. I better do this.
The high water and the angle of the ramp have created a sharp steel ridge to drive over. If Slick can't clear it, he'll have to wait some more.
Once I got over that little hump there, about 8 inches before she was going to belly out, I was all happy, grinning like a Cheshire cat.
Finally, Slick can put his trailer back to work.
Now I can concentrate on loading it up so I can get going.
On the island of Tasmania, truck driver Jeff Elliott has a time-critical load to collect.
Once it's caught, it starts to deteriorate, so you've got to get it to wherever it's going as quickly as possible.
Off the rugged west coast, a fishing boat with a 6-ton catch is heading to port. Jeff's got less than 36 hours to collect the $60,000 load and move it safely to market.
Once the fish is caught, it keeps moving continuously until it actually gets to its destination.
Through the extreme terrain of the Tasmanian wilderness.
Somebody didn't make it. If you fall off the road, it's 400 metres straight down. It's not a playground. If you've ever driven for hours and hours in a straight line and wondered where all your corners are gone, you're going to see them today. We've got them all here. They're all on one road.
Time to catch a fishing boat.
I've been hauling fish pretty much all my life.
At 55, Jeff's been doing this for 37 years. On roads across 5 continents.
Started hauling fish out of the north of Scotland down to Spain. I was about 19 years old. I haven't driven in South America and I haven't driven in Antarctica. Other than that, I've been everywhere else.
Today, he'll need every bit of that experience.
The weather's laid on some nice rain for us and it's coming across sideways.
A brutal storm is lashing the island. And Jeff's driving straight into it.
It's snow, rain, frost, 4 seasons in 1 hour. Being in a rainforest, it does tend to rain quite a lot. So it's slick and greasy down here. Just a bit of wheel spin there, we're losing traction. It's a bit steep and a bit slick. All these fancy people sitting in their fancy restaurants, they don't realise what's going on behind the scenes just so that they can have a nice little bit of fish on their plate. So now we're coming down into the mist. So we've got a bit of fog now as well, so we've just had snow back there. Sometimes the visibility down here, you're probably down at 20-30 metres.
Jeff's rushing to collect 6 tons of fish and get it to market fast.
Our job's to get it back down as fresh as we can.
Adding to his stress,
We've got to keep watching every corner.
Jeff must now conquer this. A 5-kilometre mountain road to the mining town of Queenstown.
This is the famous Queenstown 99 corners.
A notoriously dangerous stretch of road.
It's a bit steep and a bit slick.
On one side, a rock face to chew into the truck. On the other, a sheer drop.
We've got a little barrier here. It'd stop a car, it would stop a bike. You wouldn't stop a truck though. You'd go over the side and it's a long way to the bottom, but you'd get there pretty quick.
Jeff's truck is 4 times the length of an average car and 1.5 times as wide.
We're only just fitting on you, hanging a tyre over one side and we're on the white line on the other. There's really not much scope for error when you meet somebody coming the other way.
99 hairpin bends. On every one, Jeff needs most of the road. Oncoming traffic, beware.
Oh!
Jeff stalled the engine. Wet roads and a steep climb. His truck is struggling for traction.
A little bit of diff lock, mate. Lost a bit of traction, so we just had to bang the diff locks in. So we're at the top now, and we have to go back down the other side.
On the steep descent, Jeff needs to keep his speed in check.
If you lose traction coming down the hill, you're jackknifing. The truck ends up pointing one way and the trailer ends up going the other.
With tight corners,
That looks like somebody's been over there.
drop-offs,
Somebody's been into that.
and tourists to avoid. It's a test for Jeff's skills.
Stop it.
"40 kilometres now stand between Jeff and Strawn, where he's meeting a fishing boat. He calls ahead to check on its progress.
The boat is already outside the heads, but
It's already outside the heads, is it? So, how long before he comes in? She's coming in through the heads now. So, we've got like half an hour to do the next 2 hours trip. So we better start pedaling.
Keeping a boat waiting is the cardinal sin of seafood trucking.
That's a lot of money to have they sitting around doing nothing. You've got to keep them moving. It's got to be as fresh as they can get it. So if they can get it in an 3 hours earlier, it makes all the difference at the market. The truck transport is like the kind of elastic band that we get stretched and pulled all over the place. We're the guys that got to make up the time in the middle.
But this hazardous mountain road is slowing Jeff and others down. Flat out, 40 kilometres takes a frustrating 50 minutes.
Job done.
Lucky for Jeff, the fishing boat Diana is just pulling in. It's all hands on deck to load the fish.
Premium table fish, got a mixture of ling and blue. There are two main species that attach.
Catch you later, guys. Thanks for that.
down there.
Now to get it back to Hobart for processing. For Jeff, the return journey will be even tougher. It's the same mountainous route, but this time with a precious load.
Feels like about 15 tonne. Depending on what kind of weight you've got on, sometimes it gets a bit of a wiggle on it. You can throw the truck around a lot. The idea is to keep the fish upright and intact, but still get it down there as quick as we can.
And making the job harder, nightfall.
That side of the truck at the front is in the ditch, and the back of the trailer on this side is well across the other side of the road. Definitely don't want to be meeting anybody down here.
With his wide load forcing him into the other lane, Jeff's on the lookout for distant headlights.
If I see lights coming down the other way, and that gives me a heads up that there's somebody else coming.
Miss one, and there could be trouble.
Oh! This is the last serious drop. It's a big drop, it's a steep drop, and it goes a long way. It catches a lot of people out. It's about 14 minutes from the top to the bottom.
Back to civilization. 11 p.m. and Jeff's made it to the processing plant in Hobart. No time to waste. The load is cleaned and filleted, while Jeff gets some much-needed rest. Long-haul trucker Glenn Hasegawa has a monster move on his hands.
I'm guessing that's the digger there. He told me an excavator. Pretty sure that'll be the one.
He's shifting a $500,000 65-ton digger, used for large excavation work on mining sites. But Glenn's already well behind schedule.
Been here 2 days so far. They had to do some work on the excavator before we could take it. We'll get it on today and we'll be able to get out of here and start making our way over to Western
The mammoth 4-metre wide machine is headed to Port Hedland.
I'll just back it up.
Glenn has a $400,000 hydraulic trailer known as a float, designed specifically to carry oversized loads.
I'll be able to spread it a bit while we're going in reverse. As I roll the truck forward and back, the float will open out to what we want it to.
Glenn can widen the float by remote control.
We've just spread the float. She's 4 metres wide now, so that's what we need to put this digger on with the weight and the width of the tracks.
Weight-bearing wheels on the trailer dolly also can be widened with the push of a button.
4 metres probably around our limit to get over the one-lane bridges over in the west.
On his journey, Glenn faces a series of one-lane bridges, each only 4.1 metres wide.
You've only got 100 mil either side to play with, and you don't want to hit the sides because it just tears your tyres open.
And that's not the only complication.
Straighten myself up and back further up towards the digger so we don't have to run it too far on the dirt. We don't want to put dirt all over it because when we get to the border, they'll make us clean it.
Strict biosecurity laws to prevent invasive species and pests prohibit vehicles from bringing soil and other organic matter into Western Australia.
It's nice and clean, and that when we get to the border, they'll just have a look at it and say, lovely, so we don't have to clean it, because I don't like cleaning. Now we're going to put the digger on.
As a trucker who specialises in moving massive machines, Glenn has operated a digger like this before, but not for some time.
It's refreshing me memory.
A serious error with this 65-tonne excavator could cost Glenn his job or even his life.
The last thing you want to do when you're loading it is drop a track off the side because it'll just slide straight off.
There's no room for error.
It went on all right, it's good, my weight's all good. We're off. On our way at last.
Glenn's got an almost 2,400 kilometre trek to Port Hedland ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm happy to be moving. Okey doke. They have pilot girls on the ball.
Throughout the journey, 2 pilot vehicles, one in front and one behind, will assist Glenn to navigate traffic and other obstacles.
They just make sure the bridges are clear when we come over them, so we're not going to run into traffic coming at us, and gives them time to slow up and let us across.
Long-haul trucking is a dangerous business. Last year, 176 people died in crashes involving heavy trucks on Australia's roads.
You've got to sort of keep your eye open in case someone wants to run into you. A little bit of traffic behind us, back pilot's telling us, so we'll get them around safely.
With an oversized load, Glenn is restricted to a top speed of 80 kilometres per hour and gives an overtaking truck as much room as possible.
Maybe one set hanging over the middle white line, and I've got a set on the edge of the bitumen down this side. You don't want them running into the side of my load.
Got one coming in now.
And then Triple's going to come around now. Just back down a bit and let him get round. It's a bit tight squeeze, you'd have to breathe in.
The 53-metre-long overtaking truck faces oncoming traffic. And only just squeezes back in time.
This is my office out here with this nice big scenery walls, cliff walls, and when it's raining, the waterfalls that cascade off the top of those mountains up there, it's quite a good sight.
Up ahead, the Northern Territory West Australian border, where for all vehicles entering the state, strict biosecurity laws apply.
So checking for dirt, plant matter, anything that could potentially bring disease into Western Australia through the dirt and seeds. where it all happens, yay or nay? G'day, mate. How are you?
Yourself?
A what?
A freight deck?
No, I'll have to fill one out for you, bud.
Yeah. When you start filling out, I'll have a look at it, make sure it's clean.
They were happy the way our machine was clean, so we're right to go straight through.
Washing the digger in Darwin before leaving has paid off. But other travellers aren't as well prepared.
He's just got mud everywhere over his car and his trailer and everything, so they're going to make him wash it before they let him in over the border. Our machine's nice and clean. That would have been another half a day if we had to clean it by the time you hose it all off and gurney all the dirt out of it. No. I paid to drive, not to clean.
Heading for Port Hedland, Glenn still has 3 days driving ahead of him and a series of narrow bridges to negotiate.
Our first major bridge, the Kununurra Dam wall.
This is the Kununurra Dam, a spectacular engineering feat. Built to divert water from Lake Argyle for irrigation in the surrounding desert areas.
We're just coming up to the dam wall now. Jo's the first pilot. She's gone over to block the traffic coming over to us. We don't want to damage anything, of course.
It's the second biggest reservoir of fresh water in Australia.
We're just about to cross it.
Almost 300 kilometres further down the road, Glenn is faced with one of his most difficult challenges so far. Squeezing his 4-metre wide trailer through a 4.3 metre wide bridge.
To a 5 metres southbound oversized under bridge supervision.
Because of the size and weight of Glenn's load, he's required to cross single-lane bridges like this at 10 kilometres an hour and record it on video. The process is called bridge supervision.
Mabel Springs Creek will be under bridge supervision. I hope that's right. Right, we're going to move.
There's no room for error.
Oh, the narrow bridges, they're only 4.1 metres wide. We're 4 metres at the wheels.
On the right.
It is. It wouldn't want to be much wider. If you hit them, they're going to just tear your side of your tyre open. We're only just fitting across them. How'd that look, Meg? All good?
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, no, we're not too much further from where we'll probably pull up for the night once that sun starts to go down behind that mountain.
Next morning, it's an early start. Ahead of him lies the most difficult bridge of the journey.
The Will Air Bridge will be the slowest one because it's quite long.
At over 150 metres long and just over 4.1 metres wide, Will Air Bridge tests even the most experienced of truckers.
We're 4 metres at the wheels. We only got 50 mil either side to play with. Coming up to the last one now. These tight little bridges. I don't think we've scraped. That's a good sign. Just caught the side of the trailer. No drama.
Glenn's 700 kilometres from his destination, the coastal town of Port Hedland. But he still doesn't know exactly where the drop-off location is.
The only mystery left is address and phone number. but hopefully we'll sort that today. I like to let the customer know beforehand how we're travelling, when we're going to be there. Oh look, there's my phone message, and he might have just heard me and sent me a message. Have a read, see what he sent us. We've got a number, a name, so I'll just give old mate a ring, tell him where we are. G'day, that Derek?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Glenn from Slingshot Haulage. Mate, how are you?
Good, man.
Got a nice big digger on the back of my truck for you.
Exactly. Whereabouts are you now?
30 k's out, 40 k at the most.
Okay, not a problem.
Thank you very much, Derek. We were a bit kept in the dark a little bit on that one. We're just about there before we got what we needed. But yeah, all come good in the end. He's got his machine, I'm happy. Everything's got there in one piece, we haven't broken anything. Powers that be are happy, and you know, you think to yourself, yeah, we did all right on that one.
Storm clouds threaten expert house mover Robbie Mackay's latest big project.
These houses definitely aren't designed to transport. It's like over 100 years old.
Robbie and his crew are racing to get this early 1900s timber-framed house split into two, loaded and under shelter before the rain hits.
We'll brace it up, but she's going to take a fair bit of bracing to make the journey, that's for sure.
Tonight, this fragile, iconic Queenslander-style home will make a perilous journey to a new location, where it will be restored to its former glory.
There's only certain roads we can take because the railway bridges, they're too low, so we've got to go around them. And then to get it into position, we've got 50 k's of dirt roads and 2 or 3 creek crossings, big hills, big pools. Like a little bit of rain is a nightmare, and a lot of rain is an absolute nightmare.
A whopping 80 millimetres of rain is predicted in the next 24 hours.
It's just starting to spit. Hopefully the boys aren't going to be too much longer. The amount of rain that they're forecasting, it may not be able to be delivered.
Robbie's biggest single investment is this $800,000 state-of-the-art remote-controlled trailer.
Let's go. Chuck this trailer under one side.
On this journey, it'll be at risk from the wet weather and potentially flooded creeks.
A lot of electronics in it. A lot more sensors and everything for the steering and stuff. You don't want to get too wet.
It'll all come forward away from it, just steer it out. Quarter past 11. The rain isn't here at the moment, but it's hot, it's muggy, it's the wet season, so hopefully it stays dry.
We've got to go a fair way around to get to where we've got to go. It's a bit of a hike, so it should be pretty interesting.
All right, let's go.
The team's first challenge is an upcoming tunnel.
Just after you get past the exit, it comes to 3 lanes and it throws onto left lane.
Yeah, and we'll just go real steady because the tarps don't need to be up front very much before it'll set it off. This tunnel up here, like, it's a new tunnel and we'll have to go steady to approach it. It's 5'5" high. We're only like 4'8", but with the tarps they can blow up.
They have 700 millimetres of clearance, but in the new high-tech tunnel, a billowing tarpaulin could set off alarms, bringing traffic to a sudden halt.
They got lasers that constantly read the height. We've been caught out before where we've gone through, and because the tarps are up, it's dropped the boom gates to the tunnel. You're not well liked if you close the highway for an hour, so. Coming up your right.
Adding to the hazards, overtaking traffic.
That's the tunnel. Didn't set the alarms off, so it's good. Thank you. out of the back of Lismore here, there's heaps of low wires and trees, cars and that, so just winding our way through.
The busy highway is behind them, but up ahead, the most challenging part of the journey. Over 130 kilometres of tight, winding country roads with low and narrow bridges.
47 up top. The front begins.
The height of the load is 4.6 metres.
Keep going.
And the bridge, 4.7.
Keep going nice and steady.
Real steady, Shane, you got all. It's narrow. We only got 100 mil, and that's if the measurements are right.
Keep going, you've got about 50 mil up front.
Yeah, you're right, keep creeping.
Keep going. You're right, still, you've got about 100 mil. Yeah, you're cleared.
You behind me, dog?
Go.
Watch me come under this bridge. Squeezing through.
Next up, an even bigger hurdle to cross. A single-lane bridge with a muddy track and a bend on the exit.
The other side of the bridge is quite steep, long, and it goes around a bend, so we're just going to wait for the tractors.
Robbie's called in the cavalry, a posse of local farmers on tractors to help out.
There you go, mate. Robbie. There you go, mate. Robbie. There you go. This is basically what we've been dreading, is the next 10, 20 Ks. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, we're around the first obstacle, plenty more to go.
A weight-restricted bridge on the bitumen has forced Robbie off-road and cross-country. It now means he faces treacherous muddy tracks, more hills and punishing creek crossings.
We did a detour around the weight-restricted bridge. I think the load limit was like 20 tonne, 18 tonne.
Each loaded truck weighs in at 42 tonnes. The only way across an upcoming stream is an old, narrow timber bridge.
Turns out the timber bridge doesn't have a load limit. It's one of them bridges you don't want to sit on for very long.
The bridge don't feel real safe.
I see it move every time I drive on it. Yeah, she's an old bridge. Oh, we're over it. All these corners through here are really tight. That one especially. Just had to lean it away from the tree to squeeze through.
To avoid hitting obstacles that could damage the load, Robbie's state-of-the-art remote-controlled trailers prove their worth.
Not so much, Shane, on your axles are dragging into the ground. Lift the other side up a bit.
Each trailer wheel contains a sensor, allowing the trailer to adjust its height and steering to avoid obstacles.
Yeah, we're good to go.
They've made it to the tiny hamlet of Lodestone, population 40. But the journey's not over yet.
Now we're on a wet, slippery road, about to go into a creek.
The final hurdle is this creek. Crossing it will put Robbie's $800,000 trailer at risk.
With the trailers, the computer sensors sit on the wheels. They are water resistant, not waterproof. They can go through water, but they're not meant to be submerged in water.
To get them across, two tractors hook up to the first load.
not that deep. I reckon I'll pull up there, eh?
Robbie, feeling confident, decides to go it alone.
Keep going, nice and easy. Keep it going, keep it going.
Robbie's lost traction and his sensors are submerged.
It's really wet this side of the creek, so we've got the tractors, but hopefully they're enough. So we'll see how it goes.
The only way out is with tractor power. The sensors have survived.
Luckily, we had the tractors here to give us a tug on the other side.
Robbie and his crew have made it to their final destination.
He's just backing it in here. We're going to join it together. We've got it in here, and we're just bringing it into that last little bit now. We'll get it joined up, start unloading it. It's been a bit of a journey, 9 hours. It's carried really well, considering it's a 100-year-old house. It's one of them jobs that is a nightmare, but it's a good achievement when you finish.
Oversized expert Yogi is gearing up for another heavyweight challenge.
These are big and they're ugly and they look different and that, but I'm set up to cart them.
He's been hired to deliver a 20-ton harvester, or header, worth $500,000. It's big, brand new, and must be delivered without a scratch. It's a huge headache for Yogi and his wife and pilot, Amanda. Old mate Rob Poet will be hauling a second harvester in another truck. Looking after 2 trucks means more pressure on Amanda, but more precious dollars for the family business.
What are we loading that one?
I think so, I'll just find out.
I'll set it up 3.7. He's about where we need to be.
Yogi's first task is getting the massive 5.2 metre wide load onto his trailer. One tiny mistake could seriously damage Yogi's freight and his reputation. But something's wrong.
It's a lot wider than what we thought, eh? But have a look at that wheel is over there. Like, yeah. That wheel's nearly off.
The whole job's suddenly in the balance.
I don't reckon I can cart it.
How wide you think?
Go at 3.8.
Yogi's only hope is to widen his hydraulic trailer as far as it will go. It's going to be close. But if he can't load up, Yogi faces an empty truck and an empty wallet.
I can't give this load away today because then I won't work today, so.
The trailer's at maximum width. Now Yogi and Rob must be millimetre perfect.
Slow, steady.
And with just millimetres to spare.
Ooh, that was waking you up early in the morning, wasn't it? Man, they're getting bigger though. That's the biggest I've seen.
At last, Yogi's convoy can roll out.
Righty-ho, let's get into it.
On the 450-kilometre run to Esperance.
I'm watching this load like a hawk because that's probably the widest header tyres I've seen, in the 7 years I've been carting headers. I'm basically sitting in the middle of the road here. So Amanda's job today is quite full on.
On narrow country roads, Amanda's biggest concern is oncoming traffic.
If you pass that little one, yes, all good.
Thank you.
To give as much warning as possible, she needs to sit well in front of the trucks.
Might just push you out just a little bit more, eh? Thank you.
And to make things tougher, today there's no shortage of company.
It's quite hectic and quite a little bit scary in some respects, you know. You got a heap of wide stuff coming towards you and a heap of not wide stuff, and the worst possible result happened.
But in farming country, there's one hazard that poses the biggest threat of all.
A lot of loaded road trains full of stock, so you got to give them right away.
Livestock trucks carry one of the most volatile, time-critical loads there is. Ahead, Amanda's spotted a giant. It's heading Yogi's way.
Got one at 4.2 there, westbound.
He needs to pull over and make way for the bigger rig. But on the narrow track,
I'll get off here as much as I can, but...
he's just meters from trouble. If Yogi can't get over far enough, the passing road train could shower his precious load with rocks.
But we're right over that edge there.
With no room to manoeuvre, it's going to be tight.
I don't want to be any more further over than what I am there now. Dramas at all, Chief. No dramas.
Despite the close shave, Yogi's goods are all good. But no sooner is he back up to speed than he hits a bad patch of road.
It's one of the roughest bits down through this part of the section, you know.
This section through is terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, steady, steady. You can feel the whole lot just left, right, pushing you around.
With the chains on the 20-ton load under extreme stress, Yogi needs to drive like he's on eggshells.
Got to maintain a constant speed through here and a good throttle control, just to keep it nice and straight, you know. A nice little tree there.
And at a towering 5 meters high, there's more danger overhead.
Trees, and more trees. These are the brand new headers, these, and they're going to a dealership, so no damage. You know. My whole sole focus in life is no damage.
Now we're on pretty much the South Coast Highway. It's a bit of a tourist route for caravans and stuff, so you're sort of wary of it and you watch out for them.
Every time a car goes past, you're always looking in your mirrors. Have they gone off far enough? And you hope they don't flick rocks. And...
On the main highway comes a higher speed limit. Now, every car is a threat to their precious load.
They got off the gravel a bit for us to give us room, but they didn't slow down. They went boring through, you know, doing their 110 and get pelted with rocks. And, you know, we appreciate them giving us a bit of room, but it'd be nice if they slowed down a bit too.
Every passing is a drama. Jesus.
Oh, they're fearless or they don't know what they're doing.
On the busy road, the hazards keep coming. Up ahead lies an accident black spot, a narrow bridge.
There's one bridge up here that Amanda's got to close. It's on a bend and we come onto a crooked. She has to stop the cars on that bridge.
To get through it, Yogi and Rob must put their trucks and their lives in Amanda's hands.
The bridge will be temporarily closed for 2 oversized vehicles heading south.
She needs to position herself where she can be seen.
With her car blocking the highway, Amanda's risking her own safety to protect Yogi and Rob.
Pretty serious part of the job. It's a pretty dangerous part of the job.
And the bottom line is simple.
We won't fit on that bridge with a car.
While Amanda keeps the traffic at bay, the boys need to hold their line and pray no one decides to ignore her.
They truck on the bridge.
Just got a little one past me now.
With zero margin for error, They're through. And just in time.
You just got to be on your game through here, and it's just all there is to it.
After a high-value, high-stress mission, finally they've reached the drop-off in Esperance. Thanks to everyone's hard graft, the $1 million loads arrived in showroom condition.
So another successful load means another happy customer.
Kendall Trucking has delivered once again.
Happy life, happy wife, another wad full of money in the bank.
Thanks for that.
We'll wrap this one up, put this one in the bag, big trucker.
Now there's one more deadline to beat, to make it home and see the kids before bedtime. It's been a long day on the road, but Yogi's still got a few tricks up his sleeve.